Hello and welcome to another episode of Between the Studs. Today we have a very fun topic of discussion. Today it's me and Chris, and we'll be talking about our top 10 favorite Christmas gift ideas for ourselves.
Yeah, so it's like basically if we could go on a shopping spree in the store right now, what are our top 10 sets we would pick out?
Top 10 picks from the store.
Yeah, so. Mark went first, and he picked some I might have picked, especially, yeah, totally. But
they're all awesome.
I just picked my own 10, and I'll talk about his if I like them.
Gotcha. Well, I mean, I think that we have similar tastes as far as Lego sets, and that's a pretty broad enjoyment of all the Lego sets. But I'll be talking about Chris's, and Chris will be excited about mine too. It's going to be great. So, but who wants to go first? You want me to go first, Chris?
Go ahead,
okay. I'll pull out my first of top 10 sets, and it's actually something that was pretty common a little while ago, earlier this year, but is now becoming a little less easy to find, more desirable. It is the Forest Hideout. It was a gift with purchase promotional set. It was available with a couple things prior to the big 90th anniversary castle. It's a great set, and this is one of those sets I think you can get as many as you want, and it still makes perfect sense. Because it's got those great new Forester figures, the new Forester shields, great leaf pieces. Those.
How many do you have?
I have 2 at home, so I plan on buying at least another 1 or 2 before the year is out. But this is just a great set, and I built the 2 that I have. A fun little build. It's just got a great amount of pieces, and I know people who have hoarded these. I know people who have 6 to 8 of these already. And so I think that this is almost like an army builder.
It took a while for us to get any in the store.
Yeah.
Usually when these gift with purchases come out, we get them within weeks. And I would say this one maybe within months.
Yeah, it took a while for the turnover to finally start making here. And the first ones we did get sold pretty quickly, too. So there's a big demand for these. And I think you've got one in your pile there, too, Chris.
I think I do, yeah.
Might as well pull it out. So.
I'll start with this one, too.
Yeah.
So, I mean, number one, it's just totally nostalgic.
Yeah.
Do you think they'll do the 90... Since this is part of the 90 years, they're re-releasing these older style sets.
Yeah.
Like the Galaxy Explorer. Next year, 2023, it'll be 91 years.
Yeah.
Do you think they'll keep doing these retro sets?
I hope so, because I think these are some of the best Lego sets to be released in the past decade. I really do, because these are so classic. The people have been really hoping for more Foresters and classic castle factions, and I think that there's so many more classic themes and sets to remake and reimagine into modern pieces and figures, and so this is just really exciting and encouraging to see. And if they keep doing it, I think they're going to see massive success. This was a big success. People were buying stuff off the store just to get these. And so that's, I think Lego is, if they can sell you what should be $40 or $50 set for $150 worth of spending, then they're winning very big time. So they're excited about this, I'm sure. So.
For sure. And especially around the same time they did that little carnival set, which is like maybe you can get it on Bricklink for $5.
Yeah, a $5, $10 set. Compared to this is a very special, very well packaged.
What a killer gift with purchase. I mean, it's pretty amazing. And then hopefully some year they'll because they went way back to the 80s with these, but you know, what if they go back to the 90s, the early 2000s?
Ice Planet.
You know,
you got all these great themes that could be explored.
So much they can revisit.
Yeah.
And they don't need to get licensing for it, right?
Exactly. You don't have to get fancy. All the stuff's there. You know, it's totally doable and easy to do for them. So Lego, you know, all the Lego executives that watch our channel, they really need to start taking notes because we got these great.
I didn't realize you were kidding. I was gonna say, who watches our channel?
I know, right? No, I do know we've had some Lego designers and soon to be or already have become Lego designers visit our store. So we do have a tiny little shred of influence over in the other side of the pond, as they say. But that's
make more of these.
Pick number 10 and 10 for Chris and Mark is the more.
And they don't have to be a gift with purchase.
No.
We'll gladly pay for them.
Yeah. I mean, I think that they will see more gift with purchases like this, but I would gladly pay whatever retail price they decide.
We do have it for sale on our website.
Yeah, we have now probably 4 or 5 of them left. So, yeah.
Actually, every set that we have here, we should have
a couple
for sale on our website.
These are all for sale currently, and they some of them might be for sale in the next few days when this is edited and posted. So, yeah. Alrighty, let's move on to, this is pick number 9 for me. So I think it's going to be, I'm trying to go kind of by value and size. because some of these are valuable but small. This is another. This is a little bit more niche, I think.
Yeah.
This is the Space Police 3, and this name is the Space Truck Getaway. This is set number 5972, and this is a pretty wild-looking set. This came out in, I want to say, 2009? What's the year on this? Oh, it's in Spanish, hold on. 2009, I was right. I got it.
Wow.
There we go. And I loved Space Police 3 because all the aliens were such crazy characters. They had really zany, unique figures. All the policemen kind of looked the same, like a space trooper, but all the aliens had their own names, had their own characters. There was a long-running animation series on Lego.com featuring these sets and these characters, and you had like P. Squiddy, and you had like this guy, I think his name was, what was his name? Snake Eyes? Or Snake, yeah.
Snake, yeah.
And so they were great, and they were always, robbing banks and doing all sorts of nefarious deeds all over the galaxy. And this was one of the sets from that line that I never got.
Oh, really?
I got almost
Okay.
every other set from this line, and I really loved them. And we built whole layouts for this theme, like Space Police City.
Mm-hmm.
And this is one that we never got. Our friends had it. We got to see it built, but we never got to enjoy it in person. So this is one that I would probably go out of my way to buy now. And it's not too expensive. It's $100 for a sealed set from 2009. That seems like a pretty good deal to me. I think this probably retailed for about 40 or 50 back in the day, maybe a little less.
What I liked about this is just a really fun box art.
Yeah.
This will go down as like being a piece of art.
Yeah, it is.
Like
it's dynamic.
It could be hung on your wall.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, flatten it, hang it up.
Snake, that helmet was one of the cooler helmets at the time. They really didn't have a whole lot of different helmets to choose from.
Very unique.
And you could use that for medieval, pretty much anything you want.
Apocalypse,
Gladiator, stuff like that.
And the vehicle has a very Mad Max vibe to it too. So it's a fun set. It has a stolen Space Police cannon on inside the shipping container. It's just cool. So.
There's a lot going on here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So one of my favorites, and on my to-get list, even outside of the holidays, but this is a great gift.
I saw another one out there, and it might be certified pre-owned, or it might
We
be
actually got 2 or 3 of these from the Michigan Hall, I think.
the Michigan Hall.
Sealed ones. So it's really cool to see the old sets start to appear. We've had a banner year for cool old sets.
Yeah.
But what's your 9th pick over there, Chris? We've got a bunch of sets.
It would have to be Optimus Prime.
Yeah.
I had Optimus Prime. Actually, my brother had Optimus Prime.
Yeah.
My other brother had Bumblebee.
Mm-hmm.
Gosh, who did I get stuck with? I always got stuck with.
Was it the
third
jet
pick.
plane one? I don't know the name of them, but
Star Strike, Starfire.
yeah.
I was into Transformers. I liked them. I wasn't like #1 fan where I know all their names.
They were part of your childhood.
But they were a big part of my childhood. I liked watching the cartoons. I liked watching the G.I. Joe. I like G.I. Joe.
G.I. Joe's your jam,
They
yeah.
crossed it with, because it's Hasbro.
Yeah.
And they had a cartoon where it was G.I. Joe and Transformers together.
That sounds really exciting. That's cool.
So that was cool. And this looks just like the Optimus Prime toy.
The classic
action figure.
80s, right? So,
Yep.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
So this is definitely on my list. I do think it's a little on the expensive side. It's $170.
Yeah.
For 1,500 parts. No minifigures. Lego has put it on sale, and Amazon's put it on sale. So.
You can get it slightly cheaper some places.
But this will go down as being one of the extremely collectible sets that is going to go up in price for sure.
Give it a good 5 years, and that'll be double or even triple its value. So, yeah.
Definitely. So
Great
this is we've got a number of these right now. So I'm not worried about not getting it right now.
Yeah.
But I'm going to have to reserve one soon.
Exactly. Kind of like how I feel about the Forest Hideout. You're going to have to get it or more soon. But yeah, that's a great set. So I remember when that one was announced, people were freaking out because people didn't know that Lego and Transformers would actually get together on that, since they sell their own Transformers toys. It's a difficult.
They're competing toy companies.
They are.
It's Hasbro versus Lego.
Exactly.
And Hasbro has come out with their own building blocks.
Yeah.
Creo and Built to Rule.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of the old Lego bricks, not Lego compatible bricks, that you see from the 90s say BTR on the top of them.
Yeah.
And they're good quality. They're better quality than Mega Blocks.
Exactly.
But they're not Lego.
Mm-hmm.
And some of the G.I. Joe Legos compatible sets
The military vehicles.
were the
Yep.
Built to Rule.
Mm-hmm.
And so it said BTR on all of them. So you can find some pieces that look a lot like Lego. It says BTR on every single stud, which
Mm-hmm.
Mega Blocks doesn't do.
Yeah.
and it is pretty good quality. And it's like it's very disappointing to find out it's not Lego.
I've been foiled by every now and then here at the store we'll just get bulk bins and I'll be going through pieces and I'll find a piece and I'm like, that's a cool piece. Oh, it's BTR. It looks just like Lego until you really study it, so it's interesting.
And what's also interesting, so then they had Creo. So BTR didn't do great.
Yeah.
Then they came out with Creo. Hasbro came out with Creo, and they actually Hasbro didn't even make them.
Yeah. They just kind of subletted them, right?
Company in South Korea made them called Oxford Toys, and I did buy all the G.I. Joe Creo sets, and I've put them all together, and they're actually very good quality and fun to build.
Good. All right.
Yeah.
Well, it's probably good that Lego has a little healthy competition so that they continue to keep their standards very high. So,
Yeah.
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 Very cool. Well, that was pick number 9 and 9 for us. Let me see what else I've got here. Oh, this is one that might surprise some people, but I think this is a really cool set, and I would pick it or gift it. This is the Mustang. I don't know if there's any specifics to it. It's just the Ford Mustang, yeah. And this was a great set when it came out a number of years ago. It wasn't too long ago, but it's been a while now. It's just a great, really well done model. All the Lego Creator vehicles have been knocking it out of the park. They're very popular. People still ask about the Volkswagen Camper, and this is getting on the range of very collectible. I think once I don't know if it's fully retired yet. I think it is. But this is going to be special as they keep making new vehicles. And just really love it. Love the color. It's a
Because
classic.
it is so classic, and people really like it.
Yeah.
People really like the Technic ones too, but I don't.
Yeah. I like this over Technic.
I like the Creator so much more than the Technic. I'm
Yeah.
just not. I like building with Technic, but I don't like buying Technic sets and putting them together.
Yeah, Technic sets are a breed of their own. They're really cool, but I don't think they're necessarily our favorite genre.
Because they don't display well.
They're really big.
Yeah.
They're a challenge to display properly. So this is a little bit more approachable for someone who still likes
Polished.
vehicles. Yeah. So
Yeah.
all those slopes, pretty easy to build, but still a nice project. It's also extremely customizable. You got this. You can make it into a hot rod with these exhausts and the big air intake there. So it's really cool. So, and it's still pretty affordable. I think this is $170, so not too bad. Still giftable. I tried to think of gifts that are still semi-affordable, and then towards the end they're going to be the really rare collectible sets. So I was thinking about price as I was picking them out. I probably should have just been like more of a spending spree mentality, but I do like this set a lot. So I'm glad I think we have 2 or 3 of them right now, which has been kind of rare because throughout its run we've had maybe 1 in stock or no in stock. So it's good. We've started to get a little bit of a collection of them. I'm happy for that. So.
What's interesting about that box art, if you look at it for a minute, that they're actually illegally in an elite place where you're not allowed to drive.
No,
So
below the
they're-
bridge, right?
Yeah, they're below the bridge where the bad boys ride.
Yeah, exactly. You're doing some drag racing down there or something. Yeah, you're getting in trouble.
Yeah.
But that's kind of what Mustang owners
And
could
that
be
is
known
L-
for.
I think that's L.A.
I believe so.
Yeah.
Yeah, that looks like that very iconic.
Like a lot of your the Italian Job, Fast and the Furious, they all film stuff down
Terminator, I think.
Yeah.
Terminator 2. Yeah. So. Very cool. Yep. But yeah, what's your top 8 pick for you, Chris?
there. It's got to be the midi scale Millennium Falcon.
Very
And
interesting choice.
This is a really popular set. We sell these every time we get them in, and we got in one of our hauls lately. We got a bunch of these.
It was Alabama or Michigan, one of the recent hauls that Ed did, I think, probably.
Michigan or Portland,
Portland,
or Alabama.
possibly. Yeah.
It could. Yeah, you're right. It could have been either one of them.
Yeah.
But they're brand new sealed, mint condition boxes, and it's I'm not a huge midi scale fan because I like minifigures.
Yeah.
But the full size Millennium Falcon isn't really minifigure scale anyhow.
They got to play with the scale. Yeah.
And then the UCS one is too big. Where are you going to put it? Plus, it's fragile.
You got to make a room for it. Yes.
This one stays together. It's tight. You could throw it, and it probably wouldn't break.
Set it on the table,
Very
no
much.
problem. Yeah.
Yeah, and the display space is good, and it still looks really good like a Millennium Falcon.
Lego has a lot of the right pieces to make it look just right at that scale. So I think it's excellent.
They did this, and they did the Star Destroyer, and then that was it.
I don't know why. Maybe they weren't super popular at the time, but the demand for them is definitely there now.
People love them now.
Yeah, people love them now, so it's great.
And that was the Clone Wars box art. So what would you guess the date of that is?
I'm guessing 2011.
I'm going to say 2009.
Yeah, okay.
is 2009.
Oh.
I didn't look at that. I
That's
did not
good.
look at that.
No, hey.
I knew Clone Wars because they came out with the movie before they came out with the TV show.
That was like 2008 or so they came out with it. Yes.
And I took Vogan to see the movie in theaters.
It's great. It's
Yeah.
awesome. Yeah. Yeah, those some of those classic Star Wars sets came out in that, anywhere from 2008 to 2012. Those are some great Star Wars sets. Yeah. All right, so that's number 8. We're moving on to number 7 here. Let's see. I've got a pile of good stuff. I think I'm gonna go with another very
I am really surprised.
surprising.
Yeah.
So I'm not necessarily known for being a Bionicle fan, but I do really enjoy Bionicle. I think it's one of those. It is a little underrated. I know some people will overrate it, but it's fun. It was an important part of Lego, and I had a number of Bionicle pieces as a kid. I had a couple of the sets, and I bricklinked even more of them because I love building them. And this is one that I never got, but I really enjoyed. I remember being a kid when this released, and I thought it was the coolest thing ever. This is Gadunka, and this little box is very humble looking here, but when you build this guy, he's about this big.
Mm-hmm.
He's gigantic, and he can eat an entire other Bionicle in his jaws. He's so big, and he's really fun. And so he had such an interesting. There was a quick promo video that Bionicle did and Lego Bionicle for this theme, and he was like, when he jumped in, all the other Bionicles just ran because he's so terrifying. He has this big glowing pieces on his head, and so he was just super special. So I never got this one. I did get his companion Titan characters. These two I've gotten in the past.
Yeah.
But I've never gotten Gadunka, and I've seen him a few times built in the store, and I should have gotten him, but seeing it in the box is really special. And you can see he's an in-demand character. He's $200. And this has, 176 pieces? But don't be fooled, he's huge when you build him.
And if you think about it, if you needed one of those pieces, you're probably going to pay a little over $1, maybe $2 or $3 to get those pieces because they're all big pieces.
And a lot of these are special to his set. So it's pretty cool.
You're looking at 176 pieces. That's a little over $1 a piece.
Yes.
Kind of accurate.
It's
for
actually
Bionicle.
right. I'm sure his big helmet armor piece is probably in the 10, 20 range for that one piece. So very cool, underrated. I think it's actually glow in the dark too. So he's just cool. I love the Bionicle. I particularly like the underwater. It's the Mahri Nui environment, so it's just fun. So that if I was on a spending spree, this is one I would add to it just for kicks because it's hilarious.
What's neat about him is he can actually be with you could play with him with your minifigures because he's like a big monster.
Yeah.
Whereas some of the Bionicle robots are more
human looking,
action figure scale.
Yeah.
A little bigger.
He's just a monster. He's cool.
Yeah.
I love the Titan monster looking ones, and they're great. So.
And he came with the little snot pieces that are like people throw those away all the time. I go down to the sorting room and I'm constantly picking them out of the Mega Blocks.
Yep.
Because people don't realize they're Lego.
Yeah, I'll stop by to film the Treasures of the Sorting Room with Will, and I'll constantly be like, that's actually Bionicle, because they had so many cool weird pieces. But that's Gadunka. That was pick number 1, 2, 3, 7 for me. 6, 7. So yeah. What are we on over here, Chris?
Boy, I mean, they're all so good. They're all like on my top list. It's
Yeah.
going to get harder and harder. I'm going to have to go with
A Speed Champion set.
Mhm.
I like the Speed Champions.
I saw this one out there, and I was thinking about it.
Working on my mock, and the F-150 Raptor is a pretty classic set. They've got the Technic set out right now, which we have a ton of those. Those are
the orange one?
retail price still, which those I'm sure will go up just like all the other Lego. But this is classic, and then you've got the Ford Raptor, but you've also got this hot rod that it comes with.
The very modified Model A hot rod, so right there with the flame job. So.
And this was one of the early first Speed Champion sets to come out. So I was like, okay, we've got it. You better get it while we've got it. Get it while you can.
This is going to be gone soon,
because it's going to be gone, and then the next time we get it, it's going to be more expensive.
Yeah, it's going to be another $50 added to it. Yeah.
And this has one of my favorite Speed Champions figures in it. It's got the classic guy wearing a Ford T-shirt.
Yeah.
With a flannel shirt over that.
Red flannel over the top. Yeah.
It's just
he's
really,
American.
Really a classic look that, when you're like, hey, I want to customize my minifigure, that torso is going to come in handy. So I think that minifigure has a lot of potential in the future too, because I think he's cheap right now.
Yeah,
Speed Champions minifigures are pretty cheap, and I think they're all have definite potential for growth in the future.
Exactly. Speed Champions are becoming more collectible, but I think it's a very approachable genre right now. So if you get into Speed Champions, now is a good time. Versus possibly later could be much more difficult. So
Yeah, this was 2016 that
yeah,
came out.
it's already been a few years old now. So yeah,
Oh yeah, that is 6 years old.
yeah, time flies when you're
Yeah.
having fun, right? So,
Yeah.
that's awesome, Chris. So that was pick number 7 for you as well. So let's see, I've got 4 more great sets here, and I'm gonna pull this one out. I got the weird ones. I didn't realize how weird all my picks were until I got Bionicle and Forma. So
This is weird.
this is about as unusual as it gets, and I love our store for this reason. We have the weird and very unusual sets come in here from nowhere. These, I'm pretty sure these Forma sets were not necessarily available in the United States. I think they were more of a UK or even European market exclusive. Morgan or somebody correct me on that. I'm pretty sure there was some exclusivity to these. That's why you see the very high price tag. This is $300 for this one set. And I think they've gone up since they came out too. But they're just a small set, and they have what looks like some large panel plastic pieces. And there's a little Technic frame. The box gives you no clue what's inside. But maybe we can pull up an image of the built one once it's there. But it's a Technic frame, and it has a lot of motion to it. It's basically like a little automaton.
Yeah.
And you can hook a motor to it, and it'll wind, it'll move like a fish-like motion. And the cool part about this set was they had the original koi fish, which looks really cool. But you could also do other patterns, which we've had in the past. And
you didn't have them with this?
I don't think they were there, or maybe they got moved, or maybe we sold them. But this is the one that is, it's an example.
Yeah.
And so you could make it a shark, you could make it like a hand-drawn koi. So it was some really cool patterns. It was almost like a kite that you could swap out the patterns for.
Yeah.
And I just thought it was super special and super cool. I know when these came out, I want to say it was like 2018, so this is newer. But when these came out, I remember my friend Aaron from Lego Masters, who's now a Lego designer, got this and was raving about it. And I was super tempted, but I think it was just hard to find, and I never got one. So this is one of those sets that I wish I had gotten. So.
Yeah. And it's only 2018.
Yeah.
But, so that was 4 years ago. It's still only 4 years ago. At the time,
Pre-pandemic.
this was geared towards adults before any of these black box sets have come out,
Yeah.
before the botanicals have come out. So this was a precursor to an adult model that you display in your house.
Yeah, this is more of an artsy.
And I think that
Style,
the botanicals have stemmed from this.
Yeah, so this is like it was before its time, maybe.
It was
Yeah.
definitely before its time. And fact, if I remember correctly, this was a Kickstarter campaign.
Yes.
A Lego Kickstarter campaign.
That's right, because the Forma thing was very unique.
So with Kickstarter, it's like you're pledging, saying, yeah, I will buy this set. You know, if you could buy the set, and then you could buy each skin individually.
Yeah, those were like added on or
Usually
something. That
people
makes sense.
got the whole thing.
Yeah.
And it was overpriced for what you got, but it was so unique, and it was before the collecting craze really hit.
Yep.
So investors probably weren't really buying it.
Nope.
So it is really unique. And then once the Kickstarter campaign is successfully funded, then they have like 3 or 4 months to actually come out with the set. So it's like they're pre-selling all their sets.
Yeah.
So number one, they're super limited,
Yep.
and then you're buying it. So it's very similar to like these Bricklink designer ones, right?
Yeah, it's got that rarity. So.
It's very similar to those, yeah. So, and I think then they stopped doing this on Kickstarter. They were like, let's do it with Bricklink.
Yeah, as soon as they acquired Bricklink, which I think was this year, right? 2018 or thereabouts.
2019 was
Yeah.
the first Bricklink designer set. So they went from Kickstarter to Bricklink.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So a precursor to that, almost like an early Kuso Lego Ideas set you could find nowadays as well. So very cool. Yeah.
It's already expensive at $300. There you go, $1 a piece.
Yep, literally about
Yes.
$1 a piece, and I think a lot of that goes into that big skin. So
It's expensive, but I think it could go up even more.
yep, especially with the rarity and the exclusivity of it. That was my number 6 pick. So
All right. Well, yeah, I'm kind of going by size
was it
too
6
here.
or 7, 5?
I think we're on 6.
Yeah.
So this is my next smallest set, and this is still an affordable set, but this is awesome. This is the it's a Lego Ideas set. It's the dinosaur fossil set.
Yeah.
It doesn't say the name of this set on the box.
Yeah, the Lego Ideas packaging is a little different.
Yeah.
So.
It's 900 pieces. I think it retailed for $70 or $80.
Yep.
It is discontinued now, so it's $100. Still not bad. It's still around that 10 cents per piece.
It's a pretty good value for sure. So.
And these look really cool when they're built and put together on the shelf. You get 3 of them. It's very similar to the birds, and you know that birds one.
Yeah, the brick-built birds.
You got a plaque in front of each one. Very Night of the Museum-ish.
Exactly.
Which, did I hear they're coming out with a Night of the Museum cartoon?
Yes.
Okay, I was going to say.
They just came out with a little cartoon for Night at the Museum. I haven't seen it yet. I'm not sure if it's any good. We'll have to check it on Disney Plus at some point.
They actually came out with a $30 Jurassic World set with a dinosaur skeleton that is also very cool looking.
Yeah.
And I don't know, something about these dinosaur skeletons that really... I would love to find one someday.
That'd be cool. Yeah.
Wouldn't that be cool?
Yeah, just dig it up one day. That'd be awesome. I like that it has a little human there, and it says Lego Sapien. Not a Homo sapien, it's a Lego sapien. Because he's a minifigure.
Yeah, that is so funny.
Yeah, lots of little details. The Lego idea sets are always good, but this one was a very nice one. And also, still a good bargain at $100. Very giftable. A must grab in your top 10 for sure. So.
Yep.
Alrighty, well, let's see. My next one is gotta be some of our Lord of the Rings goodness here. We've gotten so many Lord of the Rings sets this year, and they sell so fast. This is one of those that has actually lasted maybe a couple weeks, a month maybe. And so this is one that I've always got my eye on Lord of the Rings sets because they're cool. I got a few when they came out, but not most of them. And so this is one of the special ones. It's Weathertop. It has some of the ring wraiths. It was almost a tongue twister, but they're really cool. The Nazgul riders, and they're some of my favorite figures because they just look so evil and bad, and they're so cool looking. And then you got Aragorn and some of the hobbits. It's a very fun set. It's not very big, but it is kind of cool. I think it actually opens up or has some interior spaces you can play in. Those new horses were so revolutionary when they came out, and these ones are actually very collectible because they have that red eye and the special print. So they're like $50 horses. So some very valuable stuff in here. It's a very cool set. And hopefully we'll see more Lord of the Rings in the future, but this is one that I would pick up. So.
Well, yeah, so I think this was the only set where you got these horses and riders, the ring wraiths.
Yeah.
This was it. And then also Merry.
Yeah.
The only set Merry came in. So
he's very collectible,
that makes
too.
him expensive. Yeah. But what I didn't like about this set, and this wouldn't make my top 10 list.
Oh, really?
Because it's not displayable. And it's
not easily
it's a play
displayed.
Set.
Yeah.
It's a play set, and I always looked at this set. I'm a lifelong Lord of the Rings fan. Love it. Read the books many times, and that just doesn't look like Weathertop to me.
Yeah.
It didn't do it justice.
Yeah.
There were these really cool statues on top of Weathertop that I remember, and all you've got is this little micro.
Yeah,
figure.
the physical builds weren't exactly anything to write home about, but the figures are good.
They were all play sets.
Yeah, they're small play sets.
It's kind of like those the battle packs you get for Star Wars. It's like you get these cool 4 figures, and then whatever junk they give you to build that you throw in the pack.
One little turret gun. That's about it. Yeah, they were pretty mediocre. On the inside, you got a few things, but nothing crazy special.
The playability's good, but honestly, I'm not playing with it.
Yeah. I think you and I, Chris, are more about building and displaying versus just like action figure playing. So, but yeah, this is. I do like Lord of the Rings. Had to give an inclusion here, and for some reason, this one actually speaks to me. I don't know why, but yeah, they are. All the Lord of the Rings sets are great. Hopefully, they'll make more.
What's funny is it says 8 to 14, and it's like. Most of the customers on this are above 14.
Yeah, I think that the Lord of the Rings sets weren't exactly super popular with the kids at the time, but I knew people that were in their 20s that were buying these up like crazy when they first came out. So, and obviously now everyone loves them.
What was the date on that?
This has got to be 2011 or 12. Let's see, 2012.
2012. Okay.
So yep, and it's so fascinating the licensing and how that all worked out, but. Hopefully, there's at least briquettes coming and one big rumored set, so we'll see. But yeah, that was one of my top picks there. What's the next one we got for you, Chris?
Number 5?
I think so. We're getting down to it now. Yeah, it should be number 5. So.
Here we go.
Oh!
Right. I can't believe we still have this. We've actually had this.
I'm surprised Fazoom hasn't bought this yet.
Unless Fazoom would love insectoids.
It's his favorite theme.
He likes the way it glows. I think he likes the electronic buzzer that's in it.
That was revolutionary for its time.
Yeah.
So, good.
But either we've had this for a while, or we got more in, or another one in.
Yeah.
Which could be the case, because we have picked up some pretty killer vintage collections.
Yes.
But this is an old set. This goes back to what? What date would you guess on?
I want to say it's 98 or 99.
98.
Yeah.
So this is the 90s. This is one of the few sets we actually have that goes back to the 90s.
Yeah. Most of these are from 2000 something. So.
And in the 90s, for Lego, you had some really crazy stuff. They were coming out with too many different elements.
Yes, they were getting too wild with their parts
too
inventory.
many colors, and they were doing poorly financially, so they scaled back.
Eventually, but this is before they scale back. This is in their ambitious
they
time.
Scale back, and thank goodness, because it leaves us with a lot of really cool parts and colors that they probably won't make again.
No, yeah, these transparent dark green, huge panels, and they got these blue, techie circuit board wings and all these crazy pieces.
For those listening on our podcast, this is set number 6977, and the name of the set...
It's probably on the top there. Yeah. Arachnoid Starbase.
Arachnoid Starbase. Yeah. And it's got one of those front flaps. And this looks like it's brand new sealed.
Wow. Yeah, you got the plastic inlay with everything inside of it.
You can look in there and see all the figures and everything.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So the insectoids were related to UFO.
They were the next generation.
What is the name of that alien?
There's Alpha Dragonus is the leader, but I'm trying to remember the name of the species. They were something with had a Z in it maybe.
It's the name of the UFO species as well.
Insectoids and UFO were the same species. They landed on this insect planet and they had to blend in and try to survive, and so they made these insectoid-style vehicles. So that's the lore. It's really, really fun stuff. Yeah.
Oh, look, it's just a giant insect. It's not a vehicle flying around getting ready to shoot me.
Fazoom will tell you all about it. These are, as we said, these are his favorite sets.
This is right up his alley.
They're really good. So.
Yeah.
That's a great pick, Chris. I'm glad you're getting some of the 90s representation. Okay, I got one here. It's not physically with us. It's actually out in the display cases.
Okay.
It's a little hard to move, so I didn't bring it in here, but it is the big Islander set. I don't even remember the name of it, but it's just a raised base plate and a regular base plate with a huge array of Islander goodness. And the set number is 6292. And I actually got the reissue of this set. This is the original. I only have the instruction booklet to show off here. I'll drop a picture of the built set on the edit.
Okay.
But this was awesome as a kid. Because you had a dozen figures?
Yeah.
You have a couple pirates, you have the King Kahuka, you have the tribal guys all over and gals, and then you have these giant statues. They could do things, they're movable, they could play inside them, you had all these little play areas and weapons, and it was just a ball to play with, and I'm so glad I got this as a kid and got to play with it. I don't have it built now, and most of the stuff has long since been lost, so this is definitely on my one day I want to get it again. And this is, for a built one, it's about in the $300 range, so not terrible. It's still very collectible, but it's, there are much more expensive new retail sets. So.
You're getting a lot of really interesting stuff here. You're getting 3 cloth sails.
Exactly.
You're getting a lot of plant pieces. You're getting a raised base plate. You're getting a printed base plate. And what's funny about this set is you've got the pirates on one side, and the islanders on the other side have their base.
Yeah.
And it's all connected. Is that what I'm seeing?
I think so.
It's connected by a bridge?
There's a rope bridge that lets the savages all come over and attack the pirates. It's crazy. So maybe they were all friends?
They were friends at one point, and then they you know what? This is very similar to what happened to the Aztecs.
Exactly. They were friends at first.
The Spanish came in and they were like, "Hey, how you doing?
Yeah.
Let's hang out and be friends."
And they all started shooting. Yeah.
And then they start fighting each other.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of story to be had in these old pirate sets.
And I'll tell you who won.
Yeah.
The pirates, because when was the last time you saw an Islander set?
Yeah, exactly. They're no longer made anymore. So yeah, that's.
They're gone.
Yep.
You get the chrome coins too. Those chrome coins.
Yeah, chrome coins.
Absolutely killer.
And actually, I really love that rope bridge piece because you can attach a minifigure arm to that and you can spin it, and it's just fun stuff. It's just like a really great play set. And this is one that I would love to see one of those 90th anniversary or anniversary related release for this because this would be just killer nowadays. They did the Black Seas Barracuda Barracuda Bay set. This would be number 2 on the list. This would be great. So.
You know what else catches my eye is 4 big shields.
Yeah.
And I know you like shields.
Yeah,
so that
the
was
shields are really cool, and you can see the play features. The rope bridge can twist and they can fall off. You got the play areas in the back of the giant statues. Yes, the play value for a kid is off the charts. So. Yeah, and definitely a good deal for a built one too. I think we've had boxed ones come in too. Yeah, we see that every now and then. Another great pick for me, if I do say so myself.
All right, so we're on number 4, huh?
We are. We're getting down to the wire here. I got 2 left, so I might have gotten ahead.
Wait, what?
I go first, so that you have one. You're catching up each time. So.
Wait, let me count these. I've got 4.
You do?
I've got 4 left here. Yeah.
Okay. Well, which ones?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 10.
Yeah.
Yeah.
1, 2.
You must
3,
have 3
4,
left.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, I built one here. No, I missed that one.
We're good. All right. So let's see. That's saving that for last. This would have to be the next one, and I know you like this one too, and I'm surprised you didn't take it.
I actually have that set already, so that's the reason I
that
wouldn't
makes
buy it
sense.
again.
Okay.
But this one is cool because it's in the box.
Very similar to insectoids. You got the same box basically.
Same size, yeah.
Yeah, it's got the flaps, and you can see in the front there.
Beautiful box art. Yeah.
This is the Rock Raiders set number
HQ 4990.
4990. Yeah, and this is Rock Raiders HQ.
Headquarters, yes.
And very similar to the insectoids. This had to have come out the same year.
It did, yeah.
Because
99 or the next year. So
You've got a light brick, this massive cannon, and all it does is light up.
yeah, it just has a little light on the end. It has a button. That's great.
It's even not much of a light, but you get the rock monster, which is absolutely killer. The colors are amazing.
Teal and yellow and the grays. Yeah.
This is the set that Chief should have been in.
Yes.
And it's just so strange that they made him so exclusive.
Yep.
But you also get a raised base plate in this.
A double wide. It's a very big base plate. So.
Which is one of the reasons why this is such a big box. And then, of course, those colors are just absolutely insane.
Yeah. The parts are great. The minifigures are great. That's one of the appearances of the Sparks character in orange. He only came in this set and I think 1 or 2 others. And so he was hard to find too. But yeah, some great pieces, great play features. I've built this set. It's a lot of fun. You have the little crane. You can move the boulders and process the materials, so it's fun. A lot of the video game elements were based on this set. Most of them were.
Yeah.
So the buildings that you make, the vehicles, they're all available in the game, so it's pretty fun. So.
And this is very collectible. There are massive Rock Raiders fans out there.
They have a whole website that's been active for years. So yeah.
And we've actually never had Chief.
No, not here.
He's come in the store twice, and we just haven't been able to make a deal on him. And we're offering hundreds for him.
Yeah.
And no one ever wants to sell him. And it's like, come on, please. And you know what's funny? I've not been here both times.
Yeah.
Both times, for some reason, I was out of town. Christmas, Thanksgiving.
Holiday of some kind.
Some type of holiday, maybe a convention. And it was always over the phone or through email or something.
Yeah, somehow it just didn't work out.
It's like, oh, hey, somebody has a figure here, and they're saying that it's worth a lot. Could you take a look at it? And I'm like, whoa, that's Chief.
Yeah, exactly. That's a special figure, yeah. Yeah, he's available. Probably Bricklink's the easiest way to get him, but he's in the many hundreds of dollars. I'm glad I have one really beat up one that I had as a kid, and I'm happy with that. I don't need to get a fancy one.
Honestly, for all these other figures are in the under $10 range.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So for one Rock Raiders figure to be in the hundreds is insane.
It's very interesting and special for sure. But this is a great set too, especially in its box condition like
Absolutely awesome, and that's a brand new set. So.
Another great 90s. I was actually explaining to some of the younger workers here, Chris, that I think 1999 was like peak civilization, and we've just started declining since then. And they were like, "What? What are you talking about?" I'm like, "Well, yeah, you couldn't even break your cell phone. It was a great time."
I mean, look at some of the best sets they're coming out with are remakes of the classics.
That's all. Yeah, that's exactly. But yeah. All right. So one of my picks. This is actually the only built one I have. I think it's one of the few built ones we have here. This is the Imperial Armada ship. I actually don't know the set number off the top of my head, but maybe Morgan or somebody in the comments can I'm giving Morgan a lot of homework to do.
Yeah.
If somebody wants to drop maybe Malister.
Well, if anybody could do it, it's Morgan, and he can get it in like a second.
So this is Imperial Armada, and it's very different from both the Imperial, the red coats and the blue coats. They were very much the icons of Lego Pirates, and the Pirates, of course, too. But this was kind of like its own little niche, off-brand theme in the Pirates universe, because they had, I think it was 3 Armada sets total, and the other 2 were much smaller, very outposty. But this was actually a pretty sizable ship. Had some very unique printed sails, which are beautiful. Had a very cool flag and very cool figures, including a chrome armor. Unfortunately, we don't have it on this example. I think we actually got it traded in just like this without the armor. But that chrome armor piece is extremely valuable. I think it's probably in the $20 range now. And so just a fun set. Green cannon bases, cool colors, cool prints, and very unique.
An actual working compass.
Yep.
Which is really neat.
A magnetized compass.
Yeah. Let me see. I know north is that way. Let's see if it's pointing right.
Might be vaguely in the right direction.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's right.
That's awesome. It has green arched windows, green curved railings. It's just some really cool colors and pieces. I actually got the boat hulls from this on Bricklink as a kid for a couple bucks each. And I ended up building my own custom one. So to have the original would just be super special. So this is got to be one of my top favorite pirate ships. So.
It almost doesn't look like Lego.
It looks special. It looks different.
The sails are so different. It's just so different from any pirate ship they have made.
I think this can maybe move. There's play features going on here that I don't understand, but it's fun. And all the pirate ships are awesome, but this one's special to me just because I remember seeing artwork for it and posters and flyers. And, always wanted it. One day I'll get it, but this is actually a fun built example. And it's actually, I think it's a few $100s. So $350. So not cheap, but for what it is, pretty good deal.
Actually, a lot of the other pirate ships are much more than that.
Yeah, I mean the Black Seas Barracuda in good shape is in the $650 range, so this is like half that price.
And those sails are like minty.
These are great. Yeah, really cool looking. So, yeah, one of my top 10s for sure. So.
Those are definitely Spanish conquistadors.
Yeah, this is exactly. There was a what was the name of their ship type? I can't remember. Spanish conquistadors and galleons. It's a galleon sort of ship. So, or maybe even a caravel. So, yeah, very nice.
Okay, I'm gonna go with probably my most expensive set.
Yeah, this is probably the most expensive set in the store right now.
Yeah, and it's I don't own any modulars. But if I ever did, which I could see myself getting into modulars and having a city someday. I would need this.
Yeah, it's kind of essential if you're a completionist.
This is Cafe Corner set 10182.
Want to have it face the camera so you can see it?
Yeah, but then I can't see it.
There you go.
And they actually show you 3 different building models on the back of it. They show you...
Very old school of them.
It looks like they combined 2 of them together. Actually, this one, they've combined 6 of them together. And they show you what 6 of them together look like.
Yeah.
And it's just... It's massive, and it's awesome.
Yeah. I've seen people do that. But I've never seen the double together. I've seen the one corner. That's pretty neat to see.
This is brand new, sealed in the box, and it's $3,000.
This is the grandpappy of all modular sets.
But you get 3 minifigures.
Yep, exactly.
So it's $1,000 per minifigure.
Yeah, $1,000 a minifigure. Yeah, no, this is. I remember seeing this in the magazine, and initially I wouldn't think this would be super successful for the time. This is very early. What is it, like 2006 or? I can't see the year under the sticker, but...
It's there somewhere.
2007.
2007.
And so, back in 2007, I don't think this seems like a very rash, maybe unplanned move from LEGO, but they kind of knew what they were doing. Making a big, detailed set, 2,000 pieces, that was a lot back then. And I remember seeing this in the magazine thinking, this is the coolest thing I've ever seen.
Huh.
It's awesome. I never got it because it was way out of my budget. It was a few $100s back then. And I think it was maybe 180, 200. And it's awesome. It's just iconic.
And this one has a sticker on it with that Lego put on there with the set name, the piece count, and everything. And that makes me think that it was originally a European release.
That's what I would say.
And in the U.S., they have to put the piece count on
there.
Yeah,
it was either originally this was going to be for Europe, but then ended up being sold in the USA. We don't really know the whole story, but that's a reasonable guess. There are a lot of exclusive colors and pieces in this set. So a lot of those dark reds are hard to find. You've got the dark blue pillars in the archway, and just a bunch of really unique stuff in the set. So it's actually very difficult to part this back out because those pieces are now, $50 each, $30 each, whatever. So it becomes expensive to try and rebuild it just for itself.
So at $3,000 for 2,000 pieces, you're talking just over $1 a piece.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not bad, right?
$1.25 a piece, yeah. Some of those are common, but a lot of those are special. Like those arched white windows are kind of rare. So there's some fun things in here. But.
I always remember looking at this and thinking how brilliant it was that they're using those skis together for the awning.
Yeah. Very iconic, very cool. They actually referenced a lot of the design elements of this build in the Assembly Square, which was kind of like was that the 5-year or 10-year anniversary of modulars?
I would say
5.
Well, if this was 2000s, yeah, 10 probably.
10 years, because it's 2016, yeah.
That was 2007.
So, very cool.
Yeah. And, for me, again, that was a get it while you can kind of thing.
Yeah, that is, it's 3,000. It won't last forever. It's pretty awesome. So, all right, what's my next one? My top 2 set. And I think this is one that you would have easily picked too, Chris, because it's Voltron. And I missed the bus on Voltron. This is a really, really neat set. It's got some great colors. This box is big, but when you build it, it's bigger than the box by a lot. Its head is up here. It's got these big wings, these arms. All the arms separate into the little robots. I don't know much about the Voltron TV show. I think this is actually for the Netflix remake of it. But it's just awesome. It looks like a big anime Titan mech, but also Transformers vibe.
The box art is cool.
Yeah.
I was very into Voltron. What I was only disappointed about with this, it's great. It's awesome. It's a great build. But, I mean, it's almost minifigure scale, and why not put minifigures in it?
They could have had the whole cast of Voltron right there.
They've got pictures of the characters here, because Voltron was controlled by 5 humans.
Exactly.
So, I was really disappointed they didn't take the opportunity to put minifigures in it.
It would have been great.
It would have been fantastic. And I had this growing up. I had all of them. We watched the cartoon. It was a very
iconic.
Very iconic set. Yeah, and this is only going to go up in price.
It's actually one of the more expensive sets that I picked out. It's $530, which actually sounds like a pretty good deal considering how quickly these have been selling from our store. We've gotten maybe 2 or 3 in the store this year, and it's sometimes within hours. So I'm surprised this is still here a few weeks in, but this is really special. It has a lot of rare metallic silver and gold pieces. Some of them I think are exclusive to the set as a prints as well. So if you try to rebuild this, you're going to have to kind of improvise on some stuff because it only came in the set. So.
Yeah, we got one of these at Brick Fair, Virginia. I don't know if you guys were there that year, but the set designer was there.
Yep.
Lego actually set up a store inside Brick Fair, Virginia that year.
A booth,
The first and only time they had ever done that, I think. And they had the set designer there. They were selling the set, and he was autographing the set. And so we went and paid full retail price for it, but we got him to sign it. And I brought it back, and I was like, this is a treasure.
Yep.
I don't want to sell it. Here's my I don't want to sell it price.
Yeah, the classic I don't want to sell it.
Somebody bought it right away, and it's like, oh, man. So set designers are like, they're not famous people. However, their autograph on the set definitely raises the price quite a bit.
We've sold a couple signed sets this year here at Atlanta Brick. We had the book, Lego Ideas book, another Lego Ideas set.
Yep.
And then we also had the I think it was the Saturn V. Mike Psyche showed up in the store. We got him to sign it. It was a really cool moment. And so, yeah, I actually remember going to the Lego house, and this set was the newest thing at the time. And he was at the Lego house signing his sets there.
Oh, wow.
And I didn't buy the set, and I didn't get him to sign it, but I said hi to him. Because he was sitting next to a friend of mine, Carl Merriam, who designs a lot of he designed the Mighty Bowser and some of the Mario and Minecraft sets. But so it's just cool to, this is a really personal build for some of the great designers at Lego. So it's really a very cool set. So, and I'm sure it'll be gone in probably another week at most. And so, but if I were to go on a spending spree, this is one of my top picks. So, top 2. So.
Well, I've got 2 left here.
That's good. There you go.
This is just so unique. It's adventures. It's the
one that comes with the gold sarcophagus, the
Yep.
big container that you
Exactly.
put it all in. And Adventurers had this big sarcophagus, and then they had the big blimp
Yeah.
too. Both really neat, unique items.
Almost usable inside the build or the universe, right? Because it's like the blimp you can have. This could be part of a giant Egypt scene. You know,
Totally.
It's awesome.
Yeah. And this is just, the box art, the packaging.
Iconic.
Everything about it is just really, really neat. And I wouldn't feel compelled to open this. I would just keep it sealed
Yep.
as is. This is a brand new sealed set.
$600. So
let's see,
1998.
So $600 for 192 parts. That's roughly $6 for a part.
Yeah, it's a good deal. Yeah.
Hey, you want the sarcophagus for $6? Here you go.
That's it. Yeah.
Buy the set.
In that package. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's actually a fun set, though. You have that really cool biplane. You have the very detailed sarcophagus print in there. A very cool desert adventure buggy, and the villains and heroes are here, so it's awesome.
And you got this set recently, right?
So the reason I didn't select this as my top 10 is because I acquired one. It wasn't in as good a shape as this. It was open. The sarcophagus was fine, but I needed to re-inventory it. So it's a great set, but the only reason I didn't pick it is because I just got it this year. So,
and this was 1998.
yep, another good year.
And this is again the same as the Insectoid and the Rock Raiders. Is you've got unique parts, unique colors,
Prints.
things they only made for this set, and then unique packaging for it too.
Yeah.
Which Lego kind of all did away with all that because it was costing them too much money.
Exactly. They'll never make a big sarcophagus like this again for their sets because it's just too big and different. They're not going to bother with it. So
You've got the minifigure size sarcophagus in there with the printed tomb.
Exactly.
Which is really, really cool. And then, of course, a biplane. And I like biplanes a lot as well.
yeah, great set. I love Adventurers, and I think this is one of the highlights from that line. So it's just super cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, people were every time we do a live stream and I pass by that set, like as I'm going through all the cool sets, people freak out because they've never even seen that big gold sarcophagus before in person or even on stream. So they get excited about that set. So it's very cool.
Back when I first got into Lego, I would get those in bulk collections. Not a lot, but you'd see stuff like that in there. You'd see the blimps in there. You'd see those sarcophaguses, probably sarcophagi.
Yeah.
Probably 3 or 4 times in bulk collections.
Yeah, you've seen
and you just don't see them anymore.
Not anymore. No. Yeah.
Not in bulk collections.
It's a very specific year and a specific Lego collector that will have that in their collection. So it's very niche, very cool. So.
And I could see a mom or something selling their Lego, getting rid of it, and not including that in there because it just doesn't look like Lego.
It could have actually been one of those things that gets tossed because it looks like a
Just
snack
packaging.
container. I mean, it looks like a Pringles container almost. It's very different. And
What was neat about this sarcophagus is it opened from the bottom.
yeah. It wasn't open from the back, then over from the top. It was the bottom. It's just a screw lid on the bottom.
Yeah. So it is very, very interesting.
And that one's in mint condition, which makes it very special.
Yeah, and you got to imagine these got really banged up.
Yeah.
Because it is such a fragile box.
We have one right up there, and it is beat up. It's almost
Oh,
unrecognizable, but this one is
Wow.
just awesome. So it's very cool to see it and how it originally appeared. It's a museum piece, sarcophagi. It's great. So. All right, and this is going to be my final set, and it had to be Castle. It had to be Kingdoms, which is my favorite of the Castle lines, and it's the GOAT. What else could I say? It's the greatest of all time.
It's the goats.
It's the GOATs, yeah. And this is a special set. This is one I never got. I don't know how. I never got this. I remember when it came out, and I remember thinking, "Oh, I need to get that set," and I just never got around to it. I think I was busy
I don't know how
building.
you never got that set.
It continues to baffle me to this day, but it's so special because each of these peasant minifigures is unique to this set. All unique prints. Never saw them again. The goats, only in this set. Lego has never made goats again. They apparently destroyed the mold, and they don't want to redo it.
That's awesome.
Which is just stunning and amazing because they've made pigs and they've made chickens for years. This wasn't the first time they were here, I think. And it's baffling. It's a great set. Really fun design. Nice little barn. You have a little windmill. the little villain knights, sort of like bad guy knights. They're raiding the village, right?
Yeah.
They're very, somewhat typical. They came in other sets, but these are all unique villagers, unique horse. Only time a gray minifigure scale horse has been released. Had a unique print. There's so much special about this set. Aside from the goats, that's really cool. So it's desirable aside from the goats, but the fact that it's the only time we've ever seen them, it's amazing.
Brandon and Greg's windmill is in there.
Yep, exactly. That's it. It actually looks pretty similar to it. Maybe a little more red, but the goats. What do they go for now? What, $250?
I don't know.
Yeah,
I mean, we haven't had one in a while.
$250. They're hundreds of dollars each. So if you think about it in price per goat, it's still pretty expensive. This is $600. So
PPG.
$300 a
per
goat. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's just awesome. So I don't know how I didn't get it. I probably won't get this one. I might hold out for a built one, but one day I'll probably get it just
so
for kicks.
at $600, we're actually less than $1 a piece.
Yeah, it's good.
So the goats are less than $1 a piece if you were to buy that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, it's
what
good.
a deal.
Exactly.
Wow.
It's a tremendous deal. But no, this is available. All these sets are available, but this is available on the website if anyone wants the greatest of all time castle set. So.
Another reason they'll never make this set again.
Yeah.
Is that it's called the Mill Village Raid.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, what happened back in medieval times when these guys raided these villages? What happened to the
villagers?
To the guys?
Yeah.
What happened to the women?
Bad stuff.
Bad stuff. They'll never make this.
The
set
kids.
again.
None of those villagers would have made it out.
And this is for kids ages 7 to 14.
Yeah. Yeah, they're not playing through the raid like it would have historically happened. But so I think you're right, Chris. This scenario is not going to happen again in Lego sets. It's kind of like how they got away with releasing a Lego skeleton. They didn't want to, but it snuck in there anyway.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
But yeah, so goats. Maybe one day we'll see more goats. I hope we do, especially if they're a different color or print. But that's the only way to get them right now if you want a new sealed goat. So. Very cool.
That
very
set
special.
designer was like, "Oh yeah, this is gonna look fun, but I hope nobody notices. This is
hope
a
they,
really bad thing that's happening."
Hope
here.
they miss the fact that it says raid in the thing. Yeah, no.
We'll make it look like the raid doesn't actually
succeed
because the lady drops an apple on the knight's head.
Yeah, exactly. On that armored helmet of the knight down there. Yeah. So.
Yeah.
Well, that was my last one.
What year did that come out?
Oh, that's
2010.
Probably 2012. 2011. That's when the Kingdoms line came out. That was one of a very good line of Lego castles. Not the best, but a good one.
I love going through a bulk bin and seeing parts from that in there because there's so many unique, recognizable parts.
There
like
are.
the horse, the minifigures,
Windmill,
yeah,
the barn. Yeah.
And it's like, like with the windmill pieces, it's like that fence part.
It's curved.
Like,
yeah.
oh wait.
It's a special one.
That's
yeah.
a great piece.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, hold on. That means there could be a goat in here. Oh, here's one. Here's two.
Mm-hmm.
So we're on my last set here.
This is Chris's final set.
This, for me, this isn't super special. It's just one of those nostalgic things. For me, this was the first Lego set I asked my parents for as an adult.
There you go.
And it was like, my parents said, "Hey, what do you want for Christmas?"
Mm-hmm.
And I was in my 30s, I think.
Yeah.
Late 30s. And I said, you know what? I want this Lego set. That's what I want.
I want a Lego train.
That's what I want.
Yeah.
Let's not beat around the bush here.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want anything else.
Yeah.
I've got 2 kids that are going to be in the Lego, and I want to play with a train with them.
Remote control, power functions, still highly regarded to this day. So.
And I built this and put it and made this big city, and it got me like into Lego hook, line, and sinker.
Yeah.
I had the train tunnel, a castle on top of the train tunnel. I mean, it was absolutely awesome. And Vogan's friends came in and destroyed it. Destroyed it.
Friends are the worst. They always destroy everything.
Yeah.
No, that is a great set, Chris. And I love that this is what got you into Lego and ended up creating Atlanta Brick Co. as we know it today. We can attribute some of the success of that to this.
This was 2010.
Yeah.
It was 12 years ago.
Yeah.
Yes, I probably could have asked for the Mill Village Raid.
Well, so a year later you could have asked for this one because it's 11.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's...
But this remote control trains are so much fun, and with that Power Functions remote, you can control
8 devices at one time with the same remote.
Yep, and the speed and everything too. Yeah, it's great.
And I did. I got windmills in the city. I mean, I
Mhm.
did all kinds of stuff with it. So.
That's awesome.
And the kids loved it.
That's awesome.
And I loved it.
I think this is actually a great deal for a certified complete one too, because you got 230, and the train parts alone are not far off from that price.
Because they're power functions.
Yeah, they're very desirable because the powered up ones are not as popular. They work if you have an extra phone or iPad, but these you don't have to have any of that tech involved. And it's very helpful. So.
We've had customers bring in the new ones, the powered up ones, and they just haven't worked.
Yeah.
I think you played with one time and when they first came out, and a customer brought it in, and we couldn't get it to connect, and it's just too high tech.
It's too easy to have a little bug or issue stop it from working. This is so nice and simple. It's got the infrared signal, and it's just plug and play. Works great. So.
I couldn't believe how easy this was at the time, and I said to myself, "Man, this is so easy. I'm going to just go all out." And I had moving functions throughout my city, and people come in and they're like, "Oh, I don't think I can do that," and I'm like, "You can. It's so easy.
With these, you can." So, but that's why they're expensive, because everyone wants them. So.
Yep, you just gotta try it.
There we go.
I get that because I think my last one got totally destroyed and eventually put in bulk.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, well, that's a great pick, Chris. I think that we really covered some really special sets here today, and there's so many more. There's more out there, Chris. There's so many awesome sets that I was thinking about that Jurassic Gate. There's all these great sets.
You know, if I could go grab another one, it would probably be that big Bowser.
Yeah.
The big buildable Bowser. That is awesome. And he was my go-to at Mario Kart.
Yeah.
So for me, he's a nostalgic character.
There's UCS sets over there. It's just awesome. But yeah, so these are our top 10 for today, but that's going to fluctuate every holiday season. But all these are probably still available on atlbrick.com. If you want a last-minute Christmas gift or you want to get something with some gift cards you might be getting, let us know. They'll be here. We'll be here. And thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. We'll see you next time. Take care.